If you are considering moving to Southwest Florida, then you are in the right place. Welcome to my channel. Thanks for tuning in. Matt, the Fish and Finance guy here. Right at the moment, I am standing in front of the Broadway Palm Dinner Theater here in Fort Myers. So right now, I am very close to the intersection of Colonial Boulevard and McGregor Boulevard on the east side of Fort Myers, right before the Caloosahatchee River. I'm over here for a quick obligation that I had. This really wasn't planned or scripted here today in any capacity. So I figured what I'd do is give you a driving tour of notorious McGregor Boulevard. So I'm going to jump back in the car. I'm going to give you the drive-by on that. This is an awesome dinner theater. If you live in this area, this is a wonderful spot to go. If you want to grab a bite to eat, have a few drinks, have some time with friends and family, and watch some great shows. Over the years, my family and I have spent many occasions here around the holiday season for their Christmas shows, and it's always a very enjoyable evening out. I'm going to jump back in the car, and what I'm going to do here, based on what my personal obligation is over here today, I'm going to start from here, and I am going to give you a view and a tour of McGregor Boulevard heading south from this location here at Colonial. Then I'm going to pick up the video a little bit later on, and I'm going to give you the rest of McGregor Boulevard heading north from this same location. So I'll see you once I get into the car, and thanks again for tuning in. Look forward to sharing some information with you. All right, so I am now southbound on the famous and the one and only McGregor Boulevard here on the very eastern edge of Fort Myers. So off to the right here, through these neighborhoods and not very far away, is the Caloosahatchee River. And the Caloosahatchee River essentially separates Fort Myers from Cape Coral. So again, right now we are southbound, and McGregor, as you can tell, this God is love sign here on the left that we just passed, that has been there for as long as I have lived here, going back to 1994. And I remember seeing that God is love sign back when I was a little kid, vacationing here in the 70s and heading to the beach with my grandparents when we were vacationing here. This street is probably most well known for two things. One being the royal palms that line this street, which is clearly evident as we drive down the road here. And on the northern end of this road, which we will get to see in a little while here, it is the Edison and Ford Estates. So literally Thomas Edison and Henry Ford. So I'm over here unexpectedly, did not have a chance to do any research. So there are going to be some segments of the video here where I basically do some voiceover on the editing to give you a little bit of data and historical information. But I'm going to do that from the computer to make sure that I'm not misstating anything. I want to convey accurate and correct information to you on anything that I just don't know right off the top of my head. All right, so what I thought I'd do is I would jump in quickly here, just give you a couple of interesting and little historical bullet points about McGregor Boulevard corridor here in Fort Myers. Little bit of insight about the Thomas Edison and Henry Ford Estates located here on McGregor Boulevard, and then just a little bit of a broad overview about what real estate prices are looking like right at the moment here in the fourth quarter of 2025 to give you a little perspective on that. So first and foremost, McGregor Boulevard itself. Where did the name McGregor Boulevard come from, or how did it come to be? Well, McGregor Boulevard in Fort Myers is named after Ambrose McGregor. And this is a former Standard Oil executive who lived in the area with his wife, Tootie. And after his death, his widow, Tootie, paid for the road to be paved and widened on the condition that it be named or renamed in his honor. So Ambrose McGregor himself was a former president of Standard Oil who had moved to Fort Myers with his wife Tootie and their son. After he passed away, she did end up getting remarried and funded the paving of the road, which was originally known as Riverside Avenue, which makes a whole lot of sense since that is the closest main artery to the Caloosahatchee River. She made the financial contribution contingent on the road being named for her late husband. Now, as it pertains to the Henry Ford and Thomas Edison estates that are located here on McGregor Boulevard, the Edison Ford, let's call it a winter escape, dates back to 1886, where Thomas Edison built his winter home here, and it was known as the Seminole Lodge, and this was right on the Caloosahatchee River, and he essentially was drawn here by Fort Myers's warm climate and natural beauty. Number of years later, in 1916, Henry Ford purchased the neighboring estate. That property was known as the Mangoes, and him and Edison were close friends and winter neighbors. And it truly, the relationship between the two of them symbolizes one of history's greatest personal and professional friendships. So although it was known as a winter retreat, these estates of both Ford and Henry served as informal think tanks where Edison Ford and Harvey Firestone would get together and discuss technology, industry, chemistry, fueling ideas, and other content that really helped shape American innovation at that moment in time. There is a botanical laboratory that was established there in 1928, and there is a world famous banyan tree on site at this location. So in 1925, Edison planted a banyan tree, and this was actually a gift from Harvey Firestone. Currently here today, it is one of the largest banyan trees in the continental US, and this tree apparently stretches and covers almost an acre of property. These estates of these two icons were among the first grand winter estates built in Southwest Florida, helping position Fort Myers as a desirable winter destination long before this area's tourism boom ever even came into existence. And these homes of both Ford and Edison, given when they were built and how long ago that was, they basically showcase a charming Queen Anne style in terms of their features with wide porches, Florida-style breezeways, and lush tropical landscaping designed to maximize river breezes in the pre-air conditioning era. So a quick snippet here in regard to real estate. So I am going to pull up just some data here. I'm looking at redfin.com, and as far as this entire drive that this video encompasses, from down around Cypress Lake Boulevard all the way up to downtown Fort Myers, what I am seeing right now is that prices are generally going to be running from the low to mid 300,000 range up to generally on the top end around 1.2, 1.1. I'm seeing a 3.69 and a 4.9, which are going to be, properties within this video where we are directly on the river, and these are, going to be homes that are not original homes. They would have been, tear downs and rebuilt, and are ultimately, I'm guessing, probably 4,000 to 7,000 square feet. I'm going to pull up one just for the sake of it. Yes, 6,320 square feet. So that one is listed at just under 4.9. It is 5 beds, 5 baths, and it is directly on the river. So these are going to be the very, very, very high end of the price range. And they're going to be literally those McMansion type properties sitting right there on the river. So anything that is on that western side of McGregor Boulevard, price point is going to be higher if you are on a canal that connects straight out to the river, but you are going to be at that highly elevated price point if you are on property that is actually literally sitting on the river. Obviously, there are a number of homes in that area, as you saw just from a little bit of drive-by, that I believe is upcoming in the video. You are also going to find, some smaller, older homes in this general area. So I am going to, pull up one here just on the east side of McGregor. So this is going to be a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 1,067 square feet of living area, currently listed at $312,900. This one, just on the quick summary I'm seeing here, clicking on the price points. 3-bed, 2-bath, 1,067 square feet, fenced in backyard, workshop shed, and a large lanai. Some of these up more in the $400,000 to $500,000 range. And just to see what is coming up. So 3-bed, 2-bath, 1,800 square feet, wooden deck, recent updates, large covered lanai. But looking at the image of the property itself, it is definitely not a tear down with a rebuild. This is going to be a home from years ago with more of an older style Florida home look. So lower in overall property as far as the house, the elevation, and very, simple and plain in terms of like a broad description there, just looking at the outside of the property. So thanks for tuning in. We're going to resume our drive, and I hope you enjoy the video. If you ever have any questions, need anything at all, please don't hesitate to reach out. Make it a great day out there. Stay safe, and thanks again for watching. We'll look forward to seeing you in future videos. See ya. But I remember as a kid being down here on vacation, and this was basically the only road that you had available to be able to get down to Fort Myers Beach. I don't know exactly when Summerlin, which is another main artery here on the eastern side of Fort Myers and a north-south corridor, I don't know exactly when that fully opened and connected down with like San Carlos Boulevard and the McGregor intersection down toward the beach. But all I know is, as a youngster, there were many hours spent in the back seat of the car, sitting here in traffic on McGregor Boulevard, waiting to get to Fort Myers Beach. So on the right-hand side here and on the left-hand side, not so much right in this immediate area, but when we head north a little later, we're going to be into a bit of a vintage and an historic district. A lot of the homes in this area, quite frankly, the majority of the homes along this corridor are going to be older than a lot of other homes in this general Fort Myers and Cape Coral and Lee County area. This corridor here and a lot of the houses in this area have been here for many, many, many years, going back into the 80s, the 70s, probably the 60s, and even beyond. But off to the right, there is property here where there are some canals that basically connect directly out to the Caloosahatchee River. So those properties are going to come at a much higher price point, and I'll throw some data up here later on in the video to address that, or I might even decide to throw some up on the screen here while I'm driving right at the moment. But From this point forward here, we're now coming up on this intersection. This is College Parkway in Fort Myers. This overpass here is the old Cape Coral Bridge, which is still fully in effect and fully functional, and a main artery in and out of Cape Coral and Fort Myers. If we hung a right at the moment, we would end up in southeast Cape Coral near Del Prado and Del Prado and Cape Coral Parkway. So at this point, if we kept going straight here on McGregor southbound, we're going to pass a few communities along the way. One of the biggest communities down here that came into existence back in the mid-90s realm is Gulf Harbour, and that is a monstrosity of a community down here on the right on the way to Fort Myers Beach. But at this point, I am going to go ahead and cut off the video because I need to hang a left for the obligation that I have. And then I will resume filming once I get back up to Colonial and McGregor, and I will show you the entire strip of the northern end of McGregor. And I will likely tie that in then with a very quick drive around of downtown Fort Myers, which I think going forward at some point here, I'm probably going to do a downtown Fort Myers walking video, as there are just a number of restaurants and local hangout things in that downtown Fort Myers area. And I think it would be better served if I did that on a little bit of a walking tour. But if timing permits and everything works out here today, I think I'll probably do a quick drive around just to give you an overview of what the downtown Fort Myers area looks like. So we'll see you again soon. And just for what it's worth, if you find yourself in this area, again, right now we are on College Parkway in Fort Myers. This is South Point Boulevard. If you hang a right like this car in front of me is, there is an awesome little restaurant down here on the right called Buckets. Been there forever. I haven't eaten there in years, but when I first moved here in the mid-90s, I lived not too far away from here, and that was a pretty frequent hangout for grabbing a bite to eat or going out after work to get some wings or a burger or something and a beer. So Buckets, a very cool local establishment that has been around here for many, many years. So I'm going to go ahead and cut off the camera now, and I will see you again once I get back onto McGregor and take you on the northbound journey past the Edison Ford Estates and then ultimately into the old original downtown section of Fort Myers. All right, so I am now northbound on McGregor, and this is the exact same location that I turned left when I started the video and was southbound on McGregor. So where we saw just a moment ago is in the rearview mirror, and we are now heading north. So this overpass and this traffic light ahead of us here, this is Colonial Boulevard. This will take you into Cape Coral as well. This is the newest main bridge or corridor, if you will, from Fort Myers to Cape Coral. And this bridge was constructed and opened somewhere right around 1994, 1995. So as we head north here on McGregor, we are on the eastern edge of Fort Myers. And while I don't do a lot of editing and a lot of imagery in my videos, I like to keep these pretty unedited and just true and real and pure. But I will, throw an image up on the screen just to give you a point of reference as to where we are. So again, eastern edge of Fort Myers, northbound. Off to our left is the Caloosahatchee River, since we're now heading north as opposed to south. So it is an interesting stretch of road here. Obviously, again, royal palm trees galore. This road has been known for that for many years, and I remember these Royal Palms back when I was, 4, 5, 6 years old, and here on vacation visiting my grandparents and cousins and aunts and uncles and everything else. So off to the left, you have a lot of homes here that are not waterfront homes, but mixed in amongst this side of the road here off to the left. You do have some canal systems back here, and you have some waterfront properties with direct access to the Caloosahatchee River in very short order and short distance. Off to the right, there are a number of gated or named or HOA communities. So there's like Tanglewood in this area, Whiskey Creek. Those are, I believe both of them are behind us at this point, unless Whiskey Creek is upcoming here. I don't recall exactly based on where I am right at the moment. But we're definitely going to be noticing a change in the vibe and the overall feel of what we're going to see here, as a lot of the homes that we're going to be coming upon over the next mile or two or three definitely are going to be older and some with historic designations. We're also going to be driving by both Thomas Edison and Henry Ford in regard to their estates and their properties. Fort Myers Country Club right off here to the right. Played golf there many times as a small child many years ago. Fun course, very fun course. I am going to just turn down randomly one of the streets here off to the left and just see if I can give you a little bit of a taste of what the residential housing looks like and feels like in this area. And this is definitely a part of town where you could very well have some new rebuilds or new remodels or total teardowns and rebuilds tucked in amongst some smaller, older, and historic homes. There's no doubt about that. So wide variety in terms of what you might find here in this area as far as housing if you're looking to be in this general area. And I am not real familiar with this area as far as just knowing my way around here. I've lived here for over 30 years, but this general area is not a section that I necessarily have spent a lot of time in. I've got a few clients that have financed homes in this area. I've been to a few friends and coworkers' homes in this area over the years for a cookout or a Super Bowl party, but this isn't my general stomping grounds, if you will. But here we are on West Riverside Drive now, and pretty much immediately here off to our left behind these homes is the Caloosahatchee River. So these are absolutely riverfront homes here that we are driving by right at the moment on the left side of the screen. I'm going to turn around and re-angle the camera a little bit so you can see that a little bit better. So these here truly and literally are homes that you would see as you are coming over the Midpoint Bridge from Cape Coral to Fort Myers. These are not canal front homes by any means. These are truly riverfront. And that right there is quite the beast of a house. this is a driveway or this road continues. Let's see what we can see through. There we go. All right, so as you can see, straight out in front of us, that is the Caloosahatchee River right there. So these are, again, not canal-front homes, and these are going to carry a rather healthy price point relative to other real estate in the area, given the fact that there are only so many homes that are truly on the river itself. So I'll head back out to McGregor and resume our trip here northbound on McGregor. I figure I'll drive you down one of these side streets in this area so you can get a feel for the homes over here. Now, again, as I had mentioned previously, these homes are going to generally be rather old as far as this area in general. Southwest Florida is not the oldest place in the country by any means. There are many areas elsewhere that are going to have more history going back much further in time than this area, broadly and generally speaking. There is definitely some history here in this downtown Fort Myers historic district area, but places like Cape Coral, I mean, Cape Coral wasn't even founded until sometime in the 60s. So as far as going back in time to, let's say Civil War era, or, the days of Thomas Edison and Henry Ford, there's a little bit of that right here locally. But outside of this immediate area, you're typically not going to find too much in the way of historical relevance for too many different things. Weather's not cooperating right at the moment. I'm going to turn around and take you down one of the road here that I just saw on the left. Let's see what this one looks like. Pretty open and clear view of the river. I don't know if I can get there from here, but we'll find out. Nope, that's a dead end. I might have to. That's another beast of a house. Here along the river, there have been A lot of rebuilds. This one right here is labeled as a full remodel, but it certainly doesn't have the same outside ambiance and appeal as some of these monstrosities that are right here on the river. I think I was one street away from what appeared to be a great view of the river right down Alhambra here. So again, here we have some very small, relatively speaking, older style homes. But straight ahead, we are looking at the Caloosahatchee River. So depending on your budget and what you are wanting or needing in your next home, you have some options here in this area. So if a waterfront view is something that you are seeking in your next home, this is hard to beat. All right, so we are northbound again on McGregor Linhart Avenue. I think I had a coworker that lived down there or financed a client down there, and Linwood as well, many years ago. It's unfortunate the weather is not cooperating real well right at the moment. So off to our left here are the Edison and Ford Estates. We did it many years ago. It's been quite a while, but there are tours here that you can take of these estate homes for Thomas Edison and Henry Ford. And it's just a very cool little piece of history, and with names like Edison and Ford, it's pretty cool that it's right here, literally in your backyard if you live in this area. So we are now coming upon the downtown and historic district of Fort Myers. I think in light of the weather and just the general ambiance and feel outside right now, I'm going to come back down here one day and simply do a bit of a walking tour, or I'll just drive around and do some walking around, and I'll make that a completely separate video. So this overpass in front of us is US 41. And if you were jumping on there and essentially heading to the left, that's going to be taking you north into North Fort Myers. And if you hang a right and head south, this will take you down all through Fort Myers, into South Fort Myers, and all the way down the west coast of Florida. So South Fort Myers, then into Estero, then into Bonita Springs, then into North Naples, eventually ending down toward the Everglades. And then Highway 41 does bear to the left, way down there at the bottom of the state, heads to the east, and will take you over to Miami. With that being said, I am going to sign off for the day. Thank you for tuning in. If there is anything that I may be able to do for you, please do not hesitate to reach out. And as I mentioned in most of my videos, if you are coming to this area and are not going to be in need of any mortgage financing, that is absolutely fine. That is what I do for a living. So if you have a need for that, I'm more than happy to chat with you, learn about what your needs, wants, and goals are, and see if I could help you. But even if you don't need financing and simply need an introduction to a quality real estate professional or any other service providers in this Lee County area, please do not hesitate to reach out. And if there's any content that you would like to see in future videos, drop me a comment down below, as I'm always looking to share information that you as the viewer would enjoy seeing. So if there's anything specifically that you would like to see, if you have any thoughts, comments, or other ideas, drop a comment down below, and I would be more than happy to see if I could address that specifically for you, and then obviously be able to share it with everyone else as well. Thanks again for watching. Make it a great day out there. If you are coming to this area, maybe our paths will cross one day. Until then, take care, be safe, and I'll look forward to seeing what you have to say down below. Until next time, we are gone. But wait, not quite. Figured since I am here, I'd leave the camera running while we drive across the Caloosahatchee River on US Highway 41. So I'm not sure what the camera is picking up. If you can see the bridge off to the right, that is Old Highway 41, or what is commonly referred to as Business 41. And unlike this bridge that we're on right at the moment, where it is a singular bridge with traffic going both northbound and southbound. The bridges over there for Business 41, there is a standalone southbound bridge and a standalone northbound bridge. Both of these bridges uh, put you into North Fort Myers if you're heading north, and put you into Fort Myers or downtown Fort Myers if you're heading south. But with these two roads paralleling each other and being so close together, it does certainly help with traffic and congestion, depending on where you may need to go in regard to either a daily commute or just coming over this direction, maybe to head to downtown Fort Myers on a Friday or Saturday night, or to the Harborside Convention Center if there's an event taking place there. With that being said, I am out of here. We will see you next time. This is Matt, the Fish and Finance Guy, signing off. Thanks again for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in future videos. Take care. Well, hey there, if you are still with me, I am truly hoping you enjoyed the content within this video, and thanks for tuning in. I do appreciate it. If you enjoyed this video and know anyone else that may be considering relocating or moving to the Southwest Florida market, or anywhere in Florida for that matter, please feel free to share this video with them. Subscribe if you would like to see future videos as they become available. I am regularly putting out 1 to 2 videos each week covering all topics and items all throughout the Southwest Florida region. At the time of this recording, I am licensed in mortgage lending, and I have been for just about the last 29 years. I am not licensed in real estate. So even if you do not need mortgage financing for your relocation or your next home purchase here in Florida, I would be more than happy to introduce you to a quality real estate professional, depending on what market you may be looking for your next home in. So if there is ever anything at all that I can do for you, and obviously if you have any questions about mortgage financing, qualifying, if you'd like to chat about the principal first home loan that I specialize in, that is unlike any other mortgage product out there and truly can be life altering and allow you to own your home in years as opposed to decades, please don't hesitate to reach out. Be more than happy to help in any way that I can. This is Matt, the Fish and Finance Guy, signing off. NMLS ID 296861. I will look forward to seeing you in future videos. And if there's anything you'd like me to cover in future videos, feel free to comment down below, and I'd be more than happy to see if I could do a video on whatever your topic or request might be. We'll see you next time.